On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, boy, do we got a great show for you. The Doc is here, Local Geek is here, Rude Boy Kyle is here. We're going to be talking a little bit about TV. You know, Scrubs is out. What do we think of it? Oh, we found about Scrubs in the past. We'll do a nice little deep dive into that. And of course, there's hockey news. So we're going to be talking hockey as well. Plus, I maybe had an interesting incident with a snack food that led to an interesting result. You'll see. It's an interesting story. Hopefully it'll bring us a laugh to you and your day, which is good. It's always good to have a laugh. And it's always good to have you here, because when you're here, you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull pussies, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay?
Oh, come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that pretty regularly now questions just how intelligent is AI. More on that to come later. I am your host, the living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the guy who disappointed me today, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing today?
That clearly wasn't me, because there's never a time when I disappoint. Thank you very much, Howard, for that rousing introduction. I'll take it from here.
No, this was serious, Kidder. I was on my drive home, and, you know, the boys' basketball tournament is going on. So my usual talk radio that I listened to was not available. So I thought, I'm going to tune in to the Ride Home with Mark Kidder. So I did.
Okay.
You know? And
then you got home, and then you were disappointed?
No. It just so happens that the tune that came on as I started that was one Judas by Fozzy.
Yes.
Yeah. And when that song ended, on comes the silky smooth radio tones of one Mark Kidder to say, hey, Chris Jericho's band Fozzy with their song Judas, now over to Jungle Love. And that was it. And that's where you disappointed me, Kidder.
Yeah. Because
it's Friday, and you had the opportunity to say, that was Judas by Fozzy laying the Friday night smackdown with no collision here on the Ride Home with Kidder. You could have made so many wrestling references, and you didn't.
Well, that's how I know you don't listen. Because you would hear all the rest of them.
Wow, shit.
Yeah, exactly. There's the stutter. You sound like me in an LMG in Battlefield. Yeah, that's me on the other side of that microphone, spitting the hits, wrestling references, GTA references, Battlefield references, obscure pop culture references that maybe you don't even know, Howard. We just don't even know. I don't even know. That's the mystique that is the Killer Kidder Show, Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Central Time at 96.5 The Walleye, including the Ride Home with Kidder.
Yeah, anyway.
Not so cheap plugs.
Spam!
With that, we should...
Tornado Alley, it's Rude Boy Kyle.
Hey. Yeah, great to be back on the show, and... yeah, we're riding the waves of early spring severe weather, but thankfully just some heavy rain so far. And but I've got the radar up on the screen next to me here and keeping an eye on her. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
We got a drink, so let's get these intros rolling.
Howard. Okay.
Was I doing round one with the intro, or?
Oh God, you already got your finger on the trigger. You better pull it.
Yeah, you might as well kick off What's on Tap, everybody's favorite segment. Yes, I did that backwards. Why? Because it's been like 255 episodes. I'm allowed to change things up every now and then. What you having, Rude Boy?
Oh, I've got a Sam Adams Breakaway Blonde. It's refreshing and smooth, part of the Spring Sampler Pack. Now, I don't have enough light, so I'm going to read here. Easily appealing, For the whole crowd with a gentle biscuity aroma, light body, the blonde ale, balanced clean with subtle hop, touch quick, refreshing finish that'll help it break away from other beers this season. Yeah, very light on the taste buds and perfect for a nice warm 70-degree early spring day like today. So cheers to use.
Nice. Let's head out even further west. I don't know why I'm been so geographically minded with this segment lately, but let's head out to the Triple B Wiseman. Doc, how you doing and what you having?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here. It was a week as it usually is. But glad it's Friday. And I am starting out. So I decided to stop somewhere different on my way home today to pick some things up because I feel like the places I've been going always end up having the same things. I need something different. And the place I went to had Four Loko.
Watch out.
No.
And then for a moment, I was like, that would be funny. But then as I realized, as much as I love to bring laughter and joy to all of you, the pain that I would experience is not worth it. So to start tonight, I have the Stack High Gravity Smooth Lager. It is a smooth brewed lager brewed by United Brands out of Monroe, Wisconsin. I will say I'm not actually excited about it, but it looked different enough. Worth giving
The way the angle you held that up to the camera looked like a 40 in a can.
No, it's a 24-ounce can, but
Okay,
it's 9.9% alcohol by volume. So it's
Still a big boy.
around tonight. We'll see how it goes. Now I'm really wishing it wasn't a 24-ounce can, huh?
Yep.
It. Oh. Mm. Mm-mm. 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 Mm-mm.
Ooh.
It's a no. That's my rating of it. No.
A no out of 5.
It's a no.
Like a 0?
I always forget to rate my first offering, but I'm gonna give mine a 3.
All right. And then going a little bit more local, we have the Triple B Brewmaster, the local geek. Local geek, what you having this evening?
I am having, I don't remember who I got this one from, but it was from one of you guys or JS. It is the Central Standard Craft Distillery's Bourbon Old Fashioned. It's been in the beer fridge for quite a while and finally got knocked out to it. Actually, it's by Leinenkugels. I'm just noticing that below that part of the label. It's 8%. And yeah, not much for text on the can otherwise. It's not bad. That's I'm gonna give that a 3.6. That's really good.
Nice. Kidder, I'm glad I got to look over and see that your beer fridge is once again full because, the last time we recorded, you were like down to your last 3 beers. So
I'm getting down there on mine.
Did get there. But variety, not so much. So tonight, another Grain Belt Premium Light American Lager. Here's to you and your ongoing health.
Be glad it's not a high gravity smooth brewed lager.
I don't know if I have the space for that.
We just need to get everybody here so we can have this beer draft that I've been hyping up, so that you can get some new things in your fridge.
I think you'd have room for it if you stacked it, Kidder.
Nice.
All right. Well, gents, I am finishing. Well, not quite finishing because there's one more, but coming to a near end of my great journey through the world of the Warheads sour sodas. And tonight we're getting to, where they make up flavors like blue raspberry. So we got the blue raspberry variety. Might as well use the action cam since I got it. There you go. Well, my hand was kind of in the way. I'm trying the camera on the other side, but we'll see if that works any better. That smells very artificial. And that is very blue.
Gives it a blue out of 5.
That is.
Is it so blue that like your lips and tongue are going to be all blue by the time you're done?
Maybe, which I got a great story about that, which I'll get to. Yeah, I'm not enjoying that very much. It's raspberry flavored. It, not that the blue ever really means anything, but it's just raspberry flavored and sour. I'd probably give this a 3. It's all right. So I only got one more. It's going to be kind of the most boring of all the flavors. I kind of saved that for last. So, but we'll get there. But yeah, cheers to you all. And to share my story, so one thing that I have dealt with my entire life is I have incredibly large tonsils, as every doctor who has ever looked at them tells me every time. They should have been taken out. But at that time, the medical field was in a phase of, we don't remove tonsils. We just leave them in. So because of that, it means that whenever I get a cold, kind of like I'm getting over now, I get to wake up every morning to anything that had ran down the back of my throat, catching on my tonsils, crusting into like a hard shell. And then as you wake up and your mouth gets, moist and saliva is produced, it all comes loose. And I end up basically in the bathroom hawking up loogies for 2-3 minutes, sometimes dry heaving. It's not pleasant. Anyway, last night I made myself a little ice cream milkshake treat, and my son had taken some mini packs of Oreos for after school care because it was his birthday and he was celebrating, and so he brought snacks. We have a bunch of them left over, and so I'm like, hey, I might as well throw a couple into my milkshake. Have a little cookies and cream action. This will be good. What I didn't realize is that these were color-changing Oreos. And so this morning, when the first loogie got hawked out of my mouth, it was electric blue. And it's like, oh, that's a bit alarming. So there was my fun thing. My son got a kick out of that, which is probably good. He's kind of had a terrible day today. In fact, I had originally told Kidder I was going to be late to this particular episode because for his birthday, Junior wanted to go to a Bobcats game, and we were going to go, but last night he ended up spiking a fever. He went to urgent care today. They ended up sending him to the ER because he was complaining of abdominal pain, and he's got pneumonia. So no hockey game. Thankfully, though, and I'm going to give them a shout out for this because we weren't expecting. My wife called into the Bobcats box office and said, "Hey, here's the situation. Bought some tickets to take our son to a game for his birthday, and now he's sick and we can't go. Is there anything we can do?" And the guy on who took the call, great, awesome dude, because his basic take of it was, hey, we will just switch you for a different, weekend. We're not going to refund you. We'll find you seats at a different game so that you guys can go. which I thought was awesome. So we'll get to go next weekend. It was great customer service. There was no question about the whole,
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely nice that they're willing to schedule around stuff like that. I mean, obviously it was something out of your control, but they had no obligation to honor anything like that.
Yeah. So that was great. Somebody kicking down the door right after as we finish What's on Tap.
Mr. Malort himself.
We'll extend it. That's right. It's the Triple B Malort enthusiast. One big bada boom. How you doing this evening, and what are you drinking?
Joining you guys from Wahpeton, on the move, drinking air right now.
Extra soupy down in the WAP.
Yeah.
Okay.
My hometown.
Yeah.
A little known fact about Doc. Again, spilling the knowledge.
Yep. Just passing through. Just checked in at a hotel and decided to check in on you guys before I check back out.
Yeah.
Well, good. Hopefully that's not the only thing that's moving through these parts. Did you bring your blanket as your Wi-Fi has encrypted yourself briefly again? You did not bring your blanket. Okay.
No. I do not have the blanket. I keep that at home with me.
Okay. Didn't know if you needed a travel buddy or a thunder buddy or whatever.
No, that's why I have you guys.
All right. Well, which side of the tracks are you at? It's got to be the west side of the tracks, right? Is it the tracks run by the river? Is that how it works?
In
Aren't the tracks
Wahpeton?
Yes, I'm on the west side of the tracks.
In Wahpeton.
Otherwise, I would be in Breckenridge. What's it called, Breckenridge?
No. So yeah,
Or the tracks run east-west.
The tracks run east-west.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm on the north side of the tracks, I think. Yes, I'm on the north side of the tracks.
Is he in the good area, Doc?
There really isn't a bad area. I mean, it's
I'm close to campus or whatever campus is up here.
Wahpeton's not
Howard
really.
likes controversy. I'm trying to start a controversy about what's the bad part about Wahpeton.
No, it's not big enough to have a seedy underbelly. It's not like well, I guess if it did, maybe it would be Breckenridge, much like how Mandan is the seedy underbelly of Bismarck.
I was gonna say, Kidder's just tired of picking on Mandan. He's looking for new targets.
I'm not tired of it. It's just like fish in a barrel.
So what is everybody drinking?
Well, got a Grain Belt Light right here. A Sam Adams something or other breakaway blonde. Doc made a bad decision with the
Don't ever get this. It's bad.
and
So-
Local Geek
We'll stack you up.
So just the other day, I cracked open a can of beer, or so I thought it was beer, and it was the most disgusting beer I've ever had.
Malort.
No, it was from Modelo, but it was one of their cucumber. I don't know, cucumber jalapeno beer, something weird. It was nasty.
It sounds horrible.
So I ended
like-
up picking up a 6-pack, and it's en route to your guys' houses.
We don't like domestic terrorism. Please stop.
I've never seen that beer in my life.
Just glad I stopped drinking.
I heard
To
that,
me,
Howard.
sounds
Congratulations.
Like spicy skunk.
I mean, that being said, if it was back in the days where I was drinking, I would definitely be up for trying one. But it's always fun to try bad beer. But
We'll find other bad drinks for you to try.
Oh, I may have something in my fridge that is going to be a real. My wife's just like, "Have you tried it yet? Have you tried it yet?" And
Is it butterbeer?
Oh no.
Is it liquid bread?
No, I've done that one. I don't want to ruin it, but in a future episode, we'll get to it. It'll be something good. I promise.
Did we get clarification if you can do NAs?
Yes, I can do NAs.
Okay. So we need to stock them up with the NA beers, the NA liquors, and if we can find the unleaded version of juice, we should get them one of those too.
Yeah, I just haven't really kind of done the whole NAs because, that would mean having to go and kind of see if I can find anything that's interesting, because to me, it's not interesting to go, and here's a NA Bud Light,
Oh, it's an emergent industry.
Network of spies across the country. The network.
You can do it if you know with the non-alcoholic liquors.
Yeah, no, Athletic makes some good non-alcoholic beers, which I stumbled onto because I was at an event and they just had like all the cans at the bar and like, which one do you want? And I was like, that looks good. And then it was after I was about halfway through it that I read the can and realized it was non-alcoholic, but it was actually pretty good.
I've heard they do really good ones.
We do.
Yeah, so I'll eventually get to some of that stuff, probably. Just I haven't done that yet. It's been kind of busy. Whereas like the where I've been finding these Warhead sodas is pretty close to my work, and it's an easy 10-minute stop to run in, grab them and such.
I'm sure they're at the liquor stores too, but Dialectic does sell Athletic beers or NA beers.
Yeah, they do.
Then
Hey,
I gotta
Mark,
go
you scored a goal.
Line on some of those too.
Mark, did anybody score a goal?
Yes, it's a shootout right now. Dallas and Colorado.
Hey,
Choo-choo train.
Go Dallas.
loaded it up.
Knocked it down.
For the record, Kidder, listen, Big Bada Boom brought it up, man. I didn't want to know, so if they lose, it's his fault. He invoked the curse, okay?
What, Dallas?
Yep. Marty Party for the win! Woo! Here we go. Avalanche beat the Dallas Stars 5-4 in the shootout. There we go. And UND picking up the old W tonight against University of Nebraska Omaha. The 5-2, I think I saw. So there we go. And Howard, I have breaking sports news because we're talking about hockey.
I'm glad that you're going to do it, because I was going to say the same thing, but go for it.
Nazem Kadri returned to the Colorado Avalanche at a last-second trade deadline date. The deal is done. Nazem coming back to the Colorado Avalanche and will likely make his return debut against the Minnesota Wild on Sunday.
Yeah, I saw that. We made a couple other big trades as well. Like, I kind of feel like we don't like drafting players because, oh boy, the amount of draft picks that we have given away. It's
well, why do we need to draft them when we can just get an all-star team who works cohesively with synergy as a unit, as a collective?
Oh, that's what the Blackhawks are doing. They're collecting all the draft picks. They just sell off all the
getting rid of
talent.
Everybody. Hey, you want a captain? We got a captain here. See you later. Hasta luego.
Yeah, you want our best defenseman. You want our whole leadership core. You want so
They're building for a couple years down the road versus right now.
They've been doing that for 10 years now. They're boy, would you say?
This feels like I'm back into the early to mid '90s Blackhawks feel, because it's like you got like maybe one superstar and a supporting cast that is I don't want to say hopeless, but they're doing their best, and you can only collect draft picks for so long before you actually have to turn it into results.
Is that kind of like where you get the punch card and you buy 9 and you get your 10th free? I'm just curious at this point, because the Hawks have been on quite an interesting trade streak.
Yeah, I mean, I see the reasoning behind it, but when you have to tell your fans that, oh yeah, we have leverage and draft picks, and we have talent in the pipeline, but it's also something that you're so far down the standings that, I mean, people aren't going to take hometown or sweetheart discounts to come play for you. We're not at the position we were 10, 12, 14 years ago. Being perennial playoff contenders. So it's the guys that have current value or potential value are going to teams that are fighting for playoffs or pretty much locked into the playoffs. And it's part of being a Blackhawks fan, I guess.
The other problem when teams do things like that is, it also makes it hard to go and watch, which you gotta imagine hurts them in the whole like revenue game, just who wants to go when your team's terrible or when it's like, well, we just gave away all of our star players. I mean,
it's amazing the series of you go back, like I said, 10, 12 years, and you'd have to join a waiting list in order to get season tickets, and now it's like they're shoveling ticket package deals at you left and right just to come to the games. Not to say that the Hawks aren't fighting for attendance or numbers or money, but it's something that there's enough that it's hitting them in the pocketbooks, and I hope they're able to turn it around at some point.
Yeah, well, because the other, part of that, and, hockey's a little different because, getting hockey on TV has always been a struggle. But, if people aren't interested and it don't have stars, you're not going to get on TV, which isn't also going to help your case.
Yeah. It seems like the special outdoor games or the outdoor classics are a dime a dozen these days, and they don't have the prestige that they once had. So it's something that it seemed like we have played our hand a little too heavily way back when, and eventually the pendulum has to swing, and you can't have a dynasty forever. So
yeah. But it's amazing how, just again, those decisions can be made, and it has huge effects on kind of everything in that sense, Yeah,
well, it's like I was reading an article about they talk with some guys after the Foligno trade, and now he ends up playing with his little brother up in Minnesota. But they're excited about they were excited about the direction that this team was headed and the potential behind it. But now you take core leadership, core defensemen, and some solid experience that have really contributed for the Hawks the past few years. And now they're either playing for rivals or a team that's likely to make the playoffs, and it's like the best you can do is wish them well. And but it doesn't. I feel a bad feeling for like Connor Bedard's position, because it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Dude's not even 20 years old, and he's wearing an A on his chest not because of his choosing, but because of it's like, who else is going to lead the team?
Yeah. That's just rough, and that's sad. Because I like, everybody to have kind of good hockey going on, it's, you feel for those teams that kind of get lost in that can't ever get it right kind of mentality, That's unfortunately how it goes in sports, though. So, but we'll see. I'm just hoping the Avs continue to make a pretty good run at everything, and We have a nice long postseason. So, yeah.
Mhm. I'm gonna go grab round 2. I'll be right back.
All right.
Got a warning.
No, he didn't want you to think that he was just running away.
I mean, also plausible.
So, gents, I gotta hang out. And get ready for tomorrow. But just wanted to let you guys know I brought you guys around, and hope you guys have a good evening.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
for
as
the round,
well.
Big Bada Boom.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Appreciate
And,
that. Hope
say-
to keep this train on the tracks, rolling through both sides of town.
Yep.
Hopefully in the right direction. So we appreciate that.
Sounds good. Good evening, gentlemen. Have a good night.
Thanks for stopping by what is this? The Townsmith Tavern? Is that what we got over here? I don't even know where we are.
That's fair.
All right. Well,
All right,
safe
later.
travels. We'll see you again on the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
Sounds good.
Unless we see you first.
Cool. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think of that drink he's bringing you. Just good to say.
It was the first I heard about it too. So
Yeah. Well, hey, depending on when he gets it to you, I mean, it might be here in time for the 5th anniversary show.
yeah, could be. Might have to adjust my lineup for that. I've got a couple picked out for it, but
I'm slightly scared. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I do have something for you and JS too, Kidder.
Uh-oh. If it's juice
Don't until you try it.
Four Loko, I'm sorry. You'll have to leave it at the door.
All I'm going to say is it comes in a 16-ounce can.
Okay, at least you know it's not a 24 then.
It's not a stack.
Comes in pints. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, what else has been happening with everybody? I've still been dealing with sick kids. I'm not going to lie. My life has been kind of boring. So, I'm hoping you guys have had some excitement.
I know a couple episodes ago now, probably, but we discussed TV shows, and I finished the Lincoln Lawyers' latest season. It was very good. I think you'll enjoy it, Howard, when you get to it. Don't want to give any spoilers, but I really enjoyed that season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of hoping the wife and I can maybe find a couple of evenings and get caught up.
Yeah,
Show.
that's what we did. We watched either half an episode or a whole episode every night after we put the little one to bed, and watched it before we went to bed ourselves, and just kind of worked through it. It's only 10 episodes, I think, so it's a shorter one, but most of those are 10 or 12 episodes. And then we started the new Scrubs revival as well. That's 3 episodes in now, and it's got a similar feel to the original Scrubs, not the intern series. It's a little bit different. The first couple episodes I was a little iffy on, and after the one that came out this week, I'm a little more confident that they're going to get kind of back into the swing of how things used to be, but they have to, of course, adjust. It's been 20 years, so.
Yeah, well, I would guess that with those first episodes, they're having to kind of do the whole, like, what has everybody been up to for all the years?
Reestablishing things like that, and
yeah, plus establishing new characters, because I have seen that they have new characters, so you kind of got to get everybody up to speed, but
and even like reintroducing those relationships. So
yeah. So, but no, I'm glad to hear that it's good. I'm hoping to eventually catch that, because the wife and I also really enjoyed Scrubs. I didn't watch it in its initial run, but
I don't think we did either.
My brother was more the one to watch kind of the medical shows when that was out. But
I don't really consider Scrubs a medical show.
A medical comedy.
I mean, I know it takes place in a hospital, but for me though, like medical show, I think like the serious, like.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess I just put it as like,
No, it's certainly, it's definitely a medical setting. You're not, it's not wrong. I just don't think I'd thought of it that way before. So now I'm like, yeah, I guess it is.
One thing that did make me very happy is in the episode that came out this week, they finally introduced the hospital IT guy, which, as you all know, I'm a hospital IT guy. So
yeah. No, I get your point, Doc, because see, I don't like watching the medical shows because I just don't do well with medical stuff. Just in general, like blood, guts, gore. I'm a horror movie guy. I'm fine. Like, it's not that. It's just something about seeing people suffering or going through that stuff I can't do. And so, yeah, I just was never into it. And so, but, my wife is, being a nurse, very into that. And so I watched it with her, and we watched the whole series back, actually, I think shortly before we got married or kind of right after, when we were living in Montana.
Nice.
Yeah, Scrubs was one of those that made it into our rotation of series that we'll watch as we're going to sleep, just to have some background noise, because we've seen it enough times so we know what's going on and don't worry about missing something.
Yeah. We the thing is, like, my wife is much better at being like the binge, like, TV watcher than I am. I get bored of watching like the same show night after night after night after night, and she will just lock in and like she'll be like, "Oh, we got to finish this series." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, usually for us, we'll throw on like the new episodes of Scrubs or The Lincoln Lawyer or something new. We'll watch an episode or two of that, and then we'll switch it to something that we've seen 100 times to fall asleep to.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'll have to check that. I've seen some clips, but that's
it's like I said, those first couple episodes, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence, but now that they've kind of gotten into the swing a little bit more, I feel like it's similar to the original. It's obviously not the exact same, but
yeah. No. I see Rude Boy Kyle is back with his round 2, so I'd hate to make him sit and not drink or be able to drink. So we better get to everybody's second favorite segment of the show, and that is What's on Tap round 2.
Yeah.
Drink.
Well, since you guys were teasing it, and I had a supply that my parents had brought from the holidays, I've got the Athletic Brewing Company.
Hey.
We got one here. We got the Free Wave Hazy IPA. So
you can still have IPAs even in the non-alcoholic variety.
Yeah, this is 12 ounces, 70 calories, 16 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein.
Howard, you can do IPA month.
Yeah, IPA appreciation month's back on the table, baby.
You don't have to skip out on IPA month anymore.
Your beer contains less than
Sick
0.5% alcohol by volume. So,
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. On their website, they say they specialize in non-alcoholic beer and hop water. So
yeah,
hop is.
The hop waters are interesting. I'll have to see if I have any of those in the garage, but we'll go with this one. It's the Athletic Brewing Company. We're pioneering craft brew revolution. We believe you shouldn't have to sacrifice your ability to be at your best to enjoy great brews. So we created our innovative lineup of refreshing non-alcoholic craft brews. So from the Athletic Brewing Company, with addresses in Milford, Connecticut, and San Diego, California, giving back up to $2 million annually to restore local trails. So give her a go. Smells like an IPA. Yeah, it's got the flavor. Yeah, I'd say it just has that thinner mouthfeel that NAs tend to have. But aside from that, it's got the flavor. Yeah, I don't think Mark would like it at all. But it's something that if I were to give it a NA type score, let's give it a 2.9. I bet it'd be in the threes if it had some alcohol in it. Well, yeah, the flavor's all there. Got that hazy IPA taste.
Nice. Yeah. Anybody else with a round two?
Not yet.
Yeah, I went ahead and rated the old beer fridge for something else. I've got a spotted cow here I'm going to have.
Good.
Needs no introduction. We've had several of these at this point. Yeah, that's good.
I'm almost done with this Warheads soda.
No, as you're drinking that, nursing it, even though it's not even alcohol, Starfleet Academy watched one of the latest episodes. I'm so not interested in it that I have an extra episode to watch because I didn't even watch it in a week and a half. It's just very poor writing. Very poor. And it's very disappointing to me. I still can't get over the one guy. They're like, oh, he's an alien. And he only uses his alien form when it suits him, which so far has been once in the series. But his alien species reacts to banana, and they hid banana in his snack that they gave him. And then his reaction to banana is he pukes glitter. I'm like, wow.
That's comedy right there.
We're in the 32nd century and we still have the equivalent of fart jokes. Great.
That's because this show isn't for you, kidder. It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
No, because there's sex scenes. Howard, you want your kids to watch this and then have the
not
all of that? Like, do you want
not that young of kids? A little bit older kids.
MALSD.
Older kids? Yeah.
Like we're talking like the high school, college kids.
And uncomfortable. No. This is too angsty for even college kids.
Nothing is too angsty for college kids.
Yes, because I think about back in college. If I would have watched this crap, I would have had to have like.
So but the college student, the college age people of today, nothing is too angsty for them.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, they have no shame.
Well, I mean, think about the world they grew up in, like.
So they should bring back
since the day they've been born. We've been in wars and pandemics and recessions, and so for them, they're just kind of like, that's what life is. Life is angst.
Bananas.
That reminds me. I read somewhere online that 2003 was the worst year to be born recently, just because of the progression of what has gone on. Yeah. Both economically and politically.
When you think about it, if you were born in 2003, your senior year of high school was when COVID hit.
Yeah, no, it makes you feel.
And I can tell you, even
we're born in the year 2000.
I just think even our students in our program who are professional students who were in their final year when that happened, like, it was rough. But imagine what that's like, because you know what the senior year of high school is supposed to be like. It's an icon. I mean, you watch the movies growing up, like it's an iconic year of your life, and then to be told, no, you don't get that.
Some people peak at that time.
I know. And then
I could've been
and so some of them
player.
were hitting their peak at home on a laptop,
Mm-hmm.
staring at a camera.
They just started it a year earlier.
It's hard to believe. That
From mom's basement.
That was 6 years ago.
I know.
Oh, you're telling me. I mean, I told you, we just had Junior's birthday yesterday, and it was 11 days after he was born that COVID hit North Dakota.
I was just going to say, me and Howard both had infants when COVID hit, and it's crazy to think that it's already been that long.
Yeah. I mean, the weekend that we spent out in Omaha, watching Fighting Sioux hockey it was memorable and in many ways.
Well, and Washington had some of the first cases, so we were the first state to go into lockdown protocols and one of the last states to fully come out of it. And for us at the university, that happened Tuesday of the week before finals.
Ooh.
So it was and they were initially thinking, okay, we can power through, we'll get to the end. But no, it was on Monday, they were we're going to get through this the end of the term, and then we're going to go remote. And then Tuesday morning, they were no, forget it. We have to go remote immediately. Good luck. And so we're on quarters. So not only did they have to pivot immediately for their classes and finals, how are we suddenly going to administer all the finals on? But then there's only a week in there before the next quarter started. So it wasn't now we have several weeks to figure out what to do for next term. It was no. Yeah, it was fun. And in fact, they just settled a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit that students brought against the University of Washington, saying that they did not get the full value of their tuition for that winter quarter and spring quarter. The winter quarter when it went remote for the last week and a half, and then all the spring quarter went remote because the university wasn't fully prepared for remote instruction. And as part of the settlement, every student who was enrolled in either of those quarters gets a refund of $40.
Wow. I think that's what I paid to place out of my 2 German classes when I took the test at UND.
Yeah.
The placement test, $5 a credit.
I mean, ultimately, as part of the settlement, and then you take out lawyer, it really isn't you're not really going to get your money back. It's more of a sort of a statement kind of thing. But yeah, I saw that a couple weeks ago. It was in the newspaper that the lawsuit was finally settled, and every member of the class in the class action lawsuit will get a $40 refund.
The lawyers are the only ones really getting paid.
Yep. Oh yeah, because they're not getting $40. They're getting millions.
I got a chunk of change.
Yeah.
That's why it's sometimes better, depending on the situation, not to join in on the class action lawsuit. And if you really feel strongly about it, go after them yourselves.
Well, especially because I would venture you could probably use a class action settlement as predication to say they've admitted that something was wrong here.
Yep.
Except at the same time, I know a lot of times people will say, as part of this settlement, we are not admitting wrongdoing. Mm-hmm. So I guess you never know.
Yeah, but
it just means if you're going to do it on your own, you have to get your own lawyer. You have to do all of it on your own, and
right. And that's why it
costs you a little more than $40.
Yeah.
That's why I say you have to feel strongly about what the situation is.
I think the article I saw said there were 8 people who opted out of the class for the class action lawsuit, but I'm I highly doubt any of those 8 people are bringing their own lawsuits. So I'm not quite sure what that was about. But
how would that work with the whole you can't be tried for the same thing twice too?
That only applies to criminal.
Okay.
This is a civil action.
Sure.
Yep. So civil is different in that sense.
And by opting out of the class, you're saying I'm not bringing my accusations against them at this time. I'm reserving the right to do it later. So it's technically not double jeopardy because I haven't brought my individual concern yet because I opted out of the class.
Yeah. But a lot of times when you have these class action
jeopardy,
a lot of times with like a class action lawsuit, I mean, you're going up against usually a pretty large organization.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to have to go up against their lawyers, and they can afford, more lawyers, better lawyers.
And because I've had to work with them in my previous role when I was in charge of contracts, the counsel of record for the University of Washington is the Attorney General of the state of Washington. So, like, if you're going to sue the university, you have an entire army. In fact, the university itself has, last time I looked, I think it's like 18 assistant attorney generals that are just assigned to the university.
Wow.
But they have access to all of the assistant attorney generals for the entire agency if they need them. And they also have a fund to hire outside counsel if and when needed. So, like, as an individual person trying to sue the university, good luck with that. Like, you got to have a pretty good case because they have an army of lawyers, even though it's not a corporate entity. I mean, corporate entities have armies of lawyers too, but I was surprised. Like but actually the official, like, legal counsel for the University of Washington is the Attorney General of the state of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
That's why class actions are a thing, because that's the only way to go up against those big corporations.
Right.
Yes.
So it really does depend on the circumstances of what.
Yeah, if you have a true open and closed shut case, you could probably get it by on a big corporation, but rarely does that kind of thing happen.
Yeah. So
you need the power in numbers kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy for them to shut down 1, 2, maybe 5 people, but when you bring 100, 1,000, 10,000, 30,000, it's a little bit harder.
You hate to have to say this, but just throw that out there. None of us are lawyers. Do not take any of this as proper legal advice.
Of course.
We're spitballing and speculating.
Before you decide whether or not you should opt out of a class action lawsuit, like, check in your own information and consult your own legal counsel.
Yeah.
Don't take our word for it.
Yeah, none of us are lawyers. Local Geek just watches them on TV.
And even then, I think Lincoln Lawyer is the only one that I really watched, unless you want to count Ted from Scrubs.
Ted.
Which I wish he could come back for that show, because he was a integral cog in the Scrubs universe.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It's interesting when shows come back, and, like, I don't know about you guys, I've seen a lot of stuff of Peaky Blinders lately because they have their movie coming back, and they had one of the actresses who was in that actually passed away. So they back in season 6. So one of the things I saw was Cillian Murphy talking about how it's really been kind of difficult to come back without them there. So it's a hard thing when that sort of stuff happens.
I've seen a couple things about that with Scrubs too, about Sam Lloyd, where the actors and actresses have said that if they could change anything about the reboot, it would be that he could come back for it.
Yeah, because his stuff really did make kind of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I wish he'd been able to be a bigger actor than he was, because he was good.
Yeah. Well, and then, he also had his a cappella band.
Yeah. Yep.
So those were always some of my favorite episodes.
Yet in the show. I'm hoping they will make an appearance at some point, even without him. But
I don't know. If
they did throw an Easter egg in, though. The bar that they go to after their shifts is called I think it's called Lloyd's Tavern, in memoriam of Sam Lloyd.
No, hopefully get caught up on TV. Right now, if I'm watching anything when I'm down here in the cave, I've been rewatching one of my favorite streamers who I like to watch. He's playing Resident Evil: The Village, because Resident Evil Requiem came out and everybody's playing that, and I'm like, I didn't finish his stream of The Village. I kind of want to see in case the story continues. So I've been trying to power my way through that, and it's been interesting. It's creepy, as you'd expect from a Resident Evil game, but it's kind of fun to watch somebody who tends to be more comedic play through something like that.
Nice.
So,
the last Resident Evil game I played was 4.
yeah, they went kind of downhill. Like, I never actually played the Resident Evil games. But from what I have gathered is they were kind of on a downward kind of trend. People, like, they were just getting to be really cheesy and people weren't playing them. And then when they did 7, Biohazard, like, Biohazard was legitimate creepy. I think it was one of their most viewed, like, not just played, but viewed games. People would watch people play through the game and then rewatch it and then watch other content creators to see how they reacted to different things. So it hit a chord with people, the way that they kind of had revamped it for that. And because of that, then they came out with Village, and Village was similar. It's a little bit more action based, but there's still just some really good, like, if you like horror movie stuff, really good kind of horror moments that they worked into it that is just kind of makes it fun. So
nice. Yeah, I've always enjoyed those games. I haven't played any since 4. And funny kind of story about that was when we got 4 on the Wii, my wife decided to try playing it. It was her first time, I think, ever playing a Resident Evil game. And she got about 5 minutes into it, and one of the initial zombies you run across that throws an axe at you came up from behind her and axed her in the back of the head. She was done after that. She didn't like the jump scares and things like that happened.
The last one I played was back on the N64. I'm not sure the exact number of it or whatever iteration, but I was at a friend's house for a get together, and I had the N64 out, and
Nice.
yeah, it was
That had to be like 1 or 2, I would guess, because
Yeah.
I think those 2 were on PS1 is what I played them on, so that would have been the same generation as the 64, I think.
yeah, my brother played them, but he's even more of a kind of horror. He reads, he's a big reader of Stephen King and other horror novels and such. So, but he played several of the Resident Evil games, I know. So, yeah. And I guess on that creepy note, Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while. It's apparently time that we wrap this show up. And to do that, we need some cheap plugs, some final thoughts, all that good stuff.
All right. Website's beerbluesbs.com. Right there, beerbluesbs.com. Please visit it and join it and like it and things. All the links to the places, including streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs, where you can donate to the show directly or even just buy some merch like a pint glass or a t-shirt or a shower curtain or maybe even a 2-piece swimsuit. It all could be yours. And we get some proceeds. So please buy something. It doesn't have to be that, but you can if you really want to. And if you have a need or a want and you want to support us, that would be cool. Also, thanks. Streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. I mentioned Facebook and Instagram. We are there, and it is the place to be, even if someplace, somewhere else on the planet claims a copyright from some quick clip in one of our videos because they just want to steal our content. We're not even making any money, people, okay? Why do you want to steal our stuff? This is ridiculous. Facebook and Instagram, just like it, share it, please comment, help us there. Video versions of this on YouTube and Facebook. Plus, you could listen to all the audio versions on all of the audio places where you would have a podcast, like Spotify, or maybe Pandora, or Stitcher, or TuneIn, IMDb, Player FM, maybe Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere and everywhere in between. So please, Search for beer, blues, and BS on all of them and follow us for free. Time for some final thoughts. Let's go around the horn and Big Bada Boom, what's your thought?
He left.
That's a good thought. All right, Doc, bringing us the knowledge. Let's go out west. What do you have?
So I have to say that as I've been drinking this, it's almost done. I was just realizing, I was like, oh, it's kind of growing on me. It's not tasting so bad. And then I reminded myself it is almost 10% alcohol by volume. It's still nasty. It only tastes better because it's, I'm down to here.
That's how they get you.
Exactly.
Half of your blood content is now that drink.
Right. So my final thought is perspective is important, and sort of recognizing the perspective you're coming from. Because yes, if we were at, as we've talked about before, table 9, this probably is quite delicious. But the reality is it's not.
You need some blueberries in that.
It's all about perspective. It's all about context. Don't let context fool you into going along with something that just shouldn't be.
It's good. Okay. Sticking out on the west side, Local Geek, what do you got?
So if you want to try and troll your friends with the AI, make sure the AI is recording, because when I first got here, Howard was nowhere to be seen yet. So I started telling the AI a funny story about a canoe trip and losing somebody in the lake and a shark getting them. And then I noticed that it wasn't recording, and so all of that was for naught.
Serves you right.
That's what happens when we live in the Matrix. It's all just one giant waste of time.
Indeed.
Yeah. Any follow up with that, Local Geek? Do you want to share?
No. That was my my final thoughts for this one.
Okay, thank you. We will keep the AI slop for next week. Heading down south.
It was AI related.
Oh, yes, that's true. Sloppy AI seconds. Rude Boy, what do you got happening over there in the place?
Well, I just want to express that I'm really thankful for the time that we have together. I mean, especially with how my work schedule works out. We're doing these shows at the end of my week of mid shifts, and it's been a very tiring week. Every time I've done this, I've done the schedule now for my second year now, and I feel like I've aged 5 years in the span of one. But times like these I really appreciate, because my free time during the week is usually spent sleeping, and I can't sleep my life away, but I appreciate the times when we're able to get together and share a drink, share some laughs and thoughts, and thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rude Boy, and of course you could sleepwalk your life away if you wanted to. Pull out 72 seasons.
Slap on some AI goggles and.
I was bringing a little Metallica time over to you to get you going, get you amped up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of amped, look at him, Howard Blues sitting there thinking.
Yeah, I actually had, like, before we got down here, like, some, like, oh, this will be a good final thought, share that. And I forget what that is, because the med that I am on, which is the reason why I can't drink anymore, has been affecting a lot of memory stuff. It's been fun. So instead, I'll pivot and say, if you're going to get into the whole miniature painting hobby, get yourself a box of skulls. You never know when you're going to need a box of 340 skulls.
Variety pack.
A jar of 3D printed skulls. Would you like some?
If they're the right scale, maybe, possibly. We'll chat. We'll talk.
1-to-1.
I mean, I'm working on just kind of prepping some things, but this, I'll do it on this cam. But this guy, he needed some skulls on his base, so just put some skulls there.
The ones I printed would be much too large for that, but they could scale down. I don't know how well they would print at that size, though. You'd lose a lot of detail.
Yeah, but
Could be the skull of the Giga enemy that he just slayed.
hey, there's things you can do with big skulls too. I got ideas. We'll chat. But anyway,
that's just a bunch of skull candy.
Gosh, now that you say that, we should have done dad jokes of the week.
Well, that's too bad. It's time to leave. We are done for this episode. So thanks for being here. For Doc, for Local Geek, for Rude Boy Kyle, and for Howard Blues. I'm still Mark Kidder. Thanks for being here for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. Join us again on the next episode. Please and thanks. Smash that sub button. Keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will catch you on down that generally non-dad joke Tuscan Highway. Have a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
All that bull honky. Howard just disappeared.
I'm over here on the computer.
Oh,
Fighting Google, actually.
classic.
Yeah. And now, like, because I came up finally with like, oh, we could do this. This would be an interesting way to do the beer draft. And then JS isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
I think he's in Pasadena.
Guess he gets the Malort then.
California way.
But that's why I was late. I was like scrambling to get stuff done, and doesn't even matter anymore.
Well, I'll go
Yeah,
turn the rest of the
you're
lights on.
You're going to have a hard time with that fight, Howard. Google already knows pretty much everything about you. It knows your weaknesses. It knows your strengths.
No, it doesn't. And I could, on like 2 occasions, asked it. I've asked it things and it's just made stuff up. Like, not even like close. Just kind of like a doing what I want, and yeah.
Google still knows when you're sleeping, and it knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good. So bow down, for goodness sake.
I refuse.
Mark, I upgraded my laptop.
Gemini AI. Sure we can get the rest of the song on there.